Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in the garage. We're going to do an intro for the video in here because it's probably like 0 degrees Celsius. Outside, it's a balmy minus 15 degrees Celsius. My squash partner canceled on me this afternoon, so I thought this is a perfect opportunity to take you guys for a walk in the forest. Fresh snow galore out there. We've got about 3 feet of snow now. We're going to carry our old camera, the 2017 A7R3 Sony. Okay, so it's 42 megapixel. It is an 8-year-old camera. It's not new. And the lens we're going to carry is even older. This is a 500 millimeter mirror lens. You guys know if you've watched the channel for a while, I love this thing. Yes, I've got the latest and greatest Sony gear, including macro stuff, but this lens, I think it paid like, I don't know, 200 bucks for it. It does something special. Not only is it 500 millimeters, you can focus down to 7 feet, so you can get macro shots with it. And because of the mirror design you can see in there, it does something cool with the shots. Wherever there's a specular highlight in the background, like a light spot, it will turn those into donut rings. Now, many people don't like that in their photos, but I think in 2024, it's a creative... 2025. Where's the time going? It is a creative decision to shoot with a lens like this. I'm hoping that I can use this cool manufacturing... I don't want to say deficit, but it kind of is. You can only shoot this lens at f8. It will not stop down any more than that. So we need as much light as we can get out there today. And I'm hoping to show you guys some cool shots where we get that donut effect in the background. So let's go for a walk with Gage, see if we can get some macros, some landscapes. I don't know. I wasn't going to bring extra batteries, but at this temperature, I thought I better go back in the house and grab 2 more before we go. So I'll meet you guys outside. All right, I found our first photo. It's right there. You probably can't see it until I get close. It's going to be this little clump right there. We're going to take a shot of that. I am having a hard time seeing the screen in these bright snowy conditions today, but even though this camera is 8 years old, it does have focus peaking, so that means everything that's in focus is outlined in red because this is a manual only lens, right? There's no autofocus, and we can also zoom in to see if we are nailing, the spot on the flower there. Is it in focus what we want? So, but very hard to see the screen, so I'm doing my best. I don't know. I'll know when I put them on the computer, but this is the stuff we're looking for today, is macro snow stuff. You can see how deep the snow is. It's up to my knees now. Apparently the girls were sitting in the hot tub that whole time, and then I heard giggling behind me, so I got a picture of somebody's butt when they were going in through the door there, but I think it's my wife's, so I can't show you that. Gage eating sticks down there. And get a shot of that. Go eat your stick. You're gonna whack me in the kneecap with that. That's what you're gonna do with that. Find a smaller one. You're gonna run into 2 trees and hurt yourself like a little kid, I know. What are you gonna do with that, dude? I suggest you get a smaller one. You can't leave that on the skidoo trail. Come on, get it, let's go. Now this tree has some really cool texture in the bark. Maybe a shot of that would be cool. Ooh, what's this? I see some fungus or something over here. Oh, moss. It's yeah, here, check this out. Well, that's pretty cool, but I think with the limited f8 on this lens, I won't be able to get enough depth of field to get the texture in the tree that I want down here, the texture in the moss, and the texture in the snow. However, I can take a photo of it with just the phone. The phone is pretty good, and I can get enough height there to get the snow, the moss, the bark, everything in. Can't do it with the 500mm. But Samsung, this morning I was looking, even though I know I said I'm going to keep this phone for another year or two, I was looking this morning because I just wanted to see, out of craziness, what is the price of the Samsung S25 Ultra. It's a scary price. $2,100 here in Canada, plus tax. So you're looking at another $260 in tax. And I decided, no, I am not going to pay $2,000 for a phone. That is just craziness. I still have my S20 as a backup for this, the S23 Ultra. And that's what we're just going to rock for the foreseeable future. My wife just bought the newest iPhone, whatever it is, the Pro version. I think she said she paid $1,400. Okay, yeah, that's still a lot of money, but usually when I upgrade my phone, that's what I'm used to paying, just over $1,000 for, you know, the Samsungs that I usually get. I don't understand why these now are pretty much doubled in price. Not going to do it. This guy is not going to do it. All right, we got to go off trail here. I do see a fungus up in this tree, way up there with snow stacked on top of it. That is a cool photo, but I don't know if the angle, if we can get it from down here. I'm going to back up a little bit, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so way up there in that tree is our fungus with the snow on it. And I did manage to get a great shot of that, as well as an example of the donut bokeh that you're going to get, those circular out of focus background spots, the highlights. And you'll see it in this image right here. And this is what I think is so cool and creative. You try to take photos that showcase that as much as you can, right? We look for flowers with something in the background that produces that. And that's the whole benefit of using the old 1970, whatever year this lens came out. It's 70 something, but it's to be creative with it, right? I've said it before, guys, in the winter, it can be a struggle. You know, landscapes, animals, especially animals, birds, they're tough to find in the winter. And it's hard to shoot landscapes because of the temperature, you know, blowing conditions. You can't get the clarity that you want. But if you have a macro lens or a 500mm mirror lens that you can use as a macro lens, you will always find something to shoot when you go for a walk. I'm hoping to find some icicles up here, snowflakes in the right conditions. Anything small. You just have to look for it. You have to narrow down your field of focus and look for small images within images, I guess. So, like I said, images within images. There's a really cool leaf hanging right here. And that is something we can shoot with a 500mm. Let me show you this. Okay, I know this isn't that video. I'm just taking a picture of the little leaf hanging right there. I just heard a whistle. Gage heard it too. Well, all I can tell you is the direction that the whistle came from, and it's further back the Skidoo Trail that way, so let's keep going. So I will note that after, 45 minutes out here in the woods, whatever lubricant is in this lens, it's pretty thick now due to the cold. It's still turning, just very slowly. Oh, really starting to blow out here now. It's coming down out of the trees and down the back of my neck. Hard to get portraits of Gage where you fit all of him in there at 500 millimeters. He's got to go quite a ways up the trail, and then I've got to manually get him in focus with that slow, really thick turning. It's not a quick proposition. So luckily he heard something again and he stood still for a minute, and I got this shot. So up there is the late afternoon sun, guys, and I want to show you the cool moody shots you can get with this 500 millimeter. Well, as I suspected, I am not finding any other human tracks on the trail. I know. I'm the only guy that's been through the trail this year, to my knowledge. I cleaned the trail the other day with the chainsaw. We took some trees that had fallen down, and I went and talked to the neighbor, and they're just getting to that age. I think they're early 70s now. They don't walk back here anymore, so... And I knew when I heard that whistle, we weren't going to find any tracks. There's just something about this old, imperfect glass that makes the creative juices flow. And that's why I love this lens. It's one of my favorite lenses to carry when I'm feeling creative. If you have a job to do, no, you don't want to take that. There's better options. But if you just want to walk the woods and look for something that sparks that interest, imagination, creativity, something you're going to just say, I know there's a shot here and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to play with this lens and take a dozen shots till I get it, this old mirror lens is the perfect tool for that. It's fun to play around and be creative with it. Well, there is a fern growing through the snow here. I was going to pass it by, and I thought, no, you know what? This is what we're here for. Small things. Let's take a photo of that. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, maybe one more shot if we can get some icicles here. And then we'll head back to the warmth of the house and we'll process our images. Well, I'm looking for icicles, but it has been so cold for so long that nothing's been melting. So I'm not seeing icicles on any of these logs or stumps or branches or anything. Maybe, just maybe, oh, I'm not seeing any. Oh, there's a couple right here. That's it. I see two right there. Okay, they'll have to do. Get out of there. Hey, out of there. He likes to stick his nose on everything I want to take a photo of. Get going that way. Alright guys, I just want to say thanks on behalf of Gage and myself for joining us on the beautiful snowy trails today. Hope you enjoyed the adventure, and we'll catch you in the next one. Although I will tell you guys that this all metal lens, it gets cold, -15 out there today. Yeah, you want to have some gloves on, and then it's going to take quite a while for it to warm back up here in the house. But they don't make them like that anymore. Solid, metal, heavy. Been around taking photos for 60 years, that lens.